our second speaker from Africa to Europe, and truly wonderful to have with us a professor all the way from Austria, from Linz, like I said. For those of you who've been joining in a little late, we have with us a professor of marketing from the University of Applied Sciences at Upper Austria. He's a wonderful gentleman. His key areas of interest range from organizational buying behavior to negotiation, to most importantly, emotional and social competencies in sales and sales management, which I really believe is the way the world is drifting forward, because it's no longer about sales, but it's about the emotional and social competence involved in a sale, which is when the sale sticks. And I'm sure Dr. Andreas would have far more to share with us on that. But the key and undertone to any emotion is innovation. And that's one of the reasons we believed Dr. Andreas would be a very important person to speak, to even give a marketing perspective to innovation and the need for it. So here today at the important summit by students for students, truly a pleasure and an honor to welcome as our next keynote speaker, Dr. Andreas Zehetner from Austria. Over to you, Dr. Andreas. Welcome to this wonderful day and this wonderful initiative by Aditya.
Oh, good morning, everyone. Can you hear me?
Absolutely, Doctor.
Very good, very good. So you see in the back of myself there is a window, and it's about 7:30 now in Austria. So the sun is rising. We will have a very nice day today. And similar to the sun rising behind me, if you look out of my window, the sun is also rising in my heart if I see how professional and elegant at the same time this summit has started. Aditi, thank you so very much for this kind and smart introduction. And I'm absolutely fascinated how you manage to create such a noise about such an important topic with now 436 attendees at this conference. Aditya, I did not meet you in person, but I heard a lot of you, and I was tracking, if not say stalking your records on Facebook and seeing what you achieve. And I very much appreciate this route that you're going, but I will talk about that later. Yeah, thank you very much for the introduction, Mr. Chairman, and also welcome, dear Honorable Ministers. Sandeep, I'm very happy to meet you again. Dear participants, students, I hope there are also parents, because the parents, aside from the students, are one of those facilitators of the fire and the energy of young people when it comes to sparkle innovations. In 1954, excuse me, Peter Drucker, an Austrian scientist in management, said in his book that's called The Practice of Management, there is only one valid definition of a business purpose. And I'm referring not only to for-profit businesses, but also for non-for-profit businesses. And he says the only purpose is to create a customer or a beneficial. And because it is the purpose of any business to create a customer that is happy, any business enterprise has two and only two functions. And this is marketing and innovation. Marketing and innovation are the two entrepreneurial functions that the company possesses. All the other functions are sorted around these two core functions to facilitate entrepreneurship, innovation, to create things, and marketing to tell about the benefits of these things. I'm very, very happy to be part of this session today and to participate in this World Student Innovation Summit presented by the Next Gen Innovate in association with Sandeep's ASMA. I said already, my relationship to you, Sandeep, dates back, I guess, 2 years when you visited us in Austria, and I very much remember this beautiful day and the discussions we had. Since then, we are planning a visit to your place to manifest our ideas, but unfortunately, in the last month, the current situation is not really a facilitator of these ideas. But we will manage to meet and we will work together to put our ideas into practice. If the theme of this conference is to encourage students to ignite the innovative spark and build a pioneering society, as I read, then I would argue that the thought leaders of tomorrow are most likely already in this virtual room among the 423 participants. The thought leaders are already there, but maybe they don't know yet, and we don't know. And our task is to nurture them, grow them, and allow them to unfold their capacity and talent. I see this as a main core task of a university education. I would like to share a very little story with you that came across me just 2 weeks ago. There is a young man that was studying at our university, and his name is Shashwat Tiwari. He is from India. He studied with us and he completed some courses in entrepreneurship and starting up a business. Shashwat's family is growing potatoes in their hometown in India since many generations. He found during his studies here and in contact with his parents that potatoes, which are sold without packaging in times of COVID-19, might provide a potential harm to the health of the consumers because of hygiene issues. Isn't that a pretty similar thought or chain of thought like you had, Aditya? So he had the idea in one of our courses of creating an eco-friendly and at the same time safe packaging for his potatoes, which he now promotes and sells successfully through different sales channels to his clients back in India. The interesting thing is that his business model starts from one of the most basic products that we are having, namely a simple potato. So I'm an advocate of innovation that not necessarily has to be high-tech. Low-tech or even no-tech innovation might provide the same value as long as it fulfills the needs of the beneficiaries and it helps other people. What he said, we are still in discussion with him and he ramped up his business already back at home. He said, if I hadn't the chance to try and test my idea in the labs at the university and to collect especially my colleagues and my professors' feedback, I would perhaps not have dared to realize them after my return. I believe this is the only task of a university when it comes to help bright young talents to become successful. Because what we provided was nothing else than maybe the spark and the ignition, the fuel and the energy of Shashwat Tiwari was already there, namely in himself. My university is strongly committed to entrepreneurship and innovation. We run several undergraduate and graduate study programs. We run incubators and transfer centers around innovation and entrepreneurship in engineering, medical technology, computer science, and in business. Aditya, we would be very happy if we could be part of your network and your initiative, and if you would consider including my institution, be part of your international innovation network. We do have already a large community of clever Indian students at our 4 schools. So I'm addressing you now, the more than 400 listening students. In my country, might it be as small as it is, there is always space for talented, inspired, and brave young people. Feel free to connect to us and to take the burden of traveling to another place, hopefully Austria. Innovation and innovators take risks, and they do the not normal. And if I may address the parents, if there are any in the audience, we perfectly know that Europe is far away from you, but you can trust that we take care of your daughter and your son, and we provide them a safe, comfortable, and inspiring home base in our country. Maybe there are some company representatives in the audience. And to those, I would say that I believe, and I strongly believe, that close industry-university ties are key to success in innovation. Together, the universities and the industry can create the innovation. But we need the industry to manifest products and services out of those ideas and to spread them to the beneficials. So if you are interested to establish ties with us, we are most likely open to that. Lastly, dear Aditya, I would like to refer to you personally now, and I would like to congratulate you for your achievements which you have accomplished already at your very young age. I have a 16-year-old son who just recently has launched an app that facilitates student-to-student tutoring in times of homeschooling, and I know quite well about the work, the pain, the struggling, and also the enthusiasm that is required to perform a career as you are performing. My son sees you as an idol of how to be a great entrepreneur. I would like to convey his best greetings to you, Sandeep. You know him already. In innovation management, Aditya, we talk about the relationship between 3 things, namely discovery, invention, and then innovation. So you perform a role model of combining these 3 elements because you took a discovery which was existing, namely that the natural phenomenon of UV light that kills bacteria. That is something that we know. Well, you took that and turned it to an invention in your Sharashka box. But you did not stop. You transformed this invention towards an innovation. How do we do that? You apply managerial and social processes through which you bring it into practice and you create impact and benefit, because only then we can call it an innovation. By promoting your idea, also through this conference, you manage your innovation to find a client and a customer. And this leads me to my concluding words. I heard that one goal of this summit is to create momentum and impact for Aditya's idea, which is, let me say, a potentially life-saving idea. So participants, please feel encouraged to pledge to join this innovation movement of Next Gen Innovate and the mission of supplying this 15.1K Suraksha kits to needy families and school. Let me close with a saying of Milton Berle, a famous American comedian and actor, who said, "If opportunity doesn't knock, build a door. And if it knocks, then let it in." Thank you very much.